All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, thank you so much for your willingness to do this. It's the first time I've done a live chat with someone, so thanks for being a sort of the champion and getting this started. Um,
Cool.
yeah, so totally open format. I think for first of all, I just want to give a little bit of an undertone. So I've gotten some of the girls that have purchased from me. We have a group me. Anyone that's purchased anything from me, we have a group me where they'll just ask me questions for information, advice, and so one of the things that came up in there was, should I buy life insurance? How much? And then I was getting some other DMs about, what other types of insurances are they aware or unaware of, and life insurance kept coming up. So I figured, I was thinking, I'm like, you know what, this would be a good time to do live because I had to do my own research anyway. So why not just talk with someone live about it and then take questions from anybody watching around how they're thinking about it or what they've been told, and maybe we can demystify some things. But before we get into the details, I'd love if you can tell everyone a little bit about yourself and why you like doing what you do.
Cool. So my name's Daniel Aranda. Since you guys have people around the country, we're over here in San Antonio. I'm a partner with my firm, New York Life. So New York Life as a company has been around 175 years this year. Started off as an insurance company. Now we're a full financial services firm. So we definitely do life insurance, but we also do investments, retirement planning, wealth management, all that kind of fun stuff. The reason why I like what I do is because, especially in the Hispanic community, there is a lot of education that comes about in what we do. I'm originally from the border of Mexico, and so my family, and it's typically in our culture, we don't talk about this stuff. Money is something that you just don't talk about, and a lot of what we do, especially here in our community, is educating our clients or potential clients on their options. There's a lot of opportunities to position yourself in a better spot, either right now or in the future. And a lot of times we don't know about it or we're not educated on it. And instead of doing a lot of research, what we do is we educate our clients on what we do, how we work, the options that they have. And then once they're educated, they can make an educated decision moving forward from there.
Awesome. Give us a fun fact about yourself. Something so we can connect with you.
Fun fact. So I'm a really
A
big food
hobby?
guy.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm a big food guy, so I definitely love food. And you kind of always make fun of me of my favorite restaurant because I'm always there. But one of the things that I'm struggling with right now is, here in San Antonio we have shut down the restaurant, so it's a lot of takeout. Still supporting, my restaurant friends, but you know, definitely food for me is my big passion.
Awesome. Great. And so the other two questions I just had for you were like, what are those three key understandings that you want people to know about life insurance, and how do you want them to feel after this call?
Yeah, so the main thing about life insurance is there's definitely no right or wrong number. There's no magic formula that you can plug in your current situation and figure out the right amount you need to get. When it comes down to life insurance, it really goes down to what would you want to have happen if you weren't here tomorrow?
Okay.
And for everyone, that is completely different. For some people, there's a little bit of things that they want to take care of. For other people, they want to leave a legacy. For other people, they want to take care of their family. Everyone's a little bit different. And so the process that we go through with our firm is really sitting down with people, asking them a ton of questions to kind of figure out where are they at, where do they want to be, are we in a position to help? And then boiling down into life insurance, there's some questions that are kind of normal, funeral, would you want that taken care of? Would you want debt taken care of? Would you want the home taken care of? But what a lot of people don't think about is, especially when you're married and have kids, you're bringing in probably an income today. And so, if you're bringing in, let's just say on average, $50,000 a year, while the home's taken care of, while the house is taken care of, et cetera, that income goes away.
Right.
And so, your value, you are your biggest asset, no matter what you look at when it comes down to things. You waking up in the morning and going to work and bringing in that income, that's a really big asset for your family. And so if something were to happen tomorrow, would you want that income to keep coming in for your family, or a portion of it, or all of it, etc.? And so that's one thing that a lot of people don't think about, is that income replacement. Some people want to make sure that there's income there coming in until the kids go off to college. Other people, it's for the rest of their life. And then we like to joke, because when you're talking about death, 5 years and they find a Sancho or a Sancha, you know. Um, and so everyone always laughs, but
No,
especially here,
that's real.
but yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking real, a lot of
Yeah.
people in the back of their mind are thinking, I don't want to leave all this money for you to just turn around and have someone else spend it, right?
No.
And so everyone's a little bit different, and it's definitely
I
a
was thinking the
conversation.
other. I was thinking like just leave enough for 5 years so that you can find another partner to do life with. But you're saying I don't. They might say I don't want to leave my wife or my husband with all his money so she can just run away with it with someone else. That's a lot.
Exactly, and yeah, and a lot of people like won't admit it, but a lot of people do think that way. A lot of people think that way, and it's in the back of their mind. They won't admit it publicly, but we just kind of, throw it up in the front. Everyone always laughs, but it's always that nervous laughter, like, ha, 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 you know. Um, but it's true, and so, but we want to really just be in a position that it's always a personal decision. There's no right or wrong number.
I think there's
Um,
those two like extremes, right? Like some of my girls in our budget challenge were thinking, how do we incorporate, the different insurances that we need in that? And one of the segments is like exactly what you said. Like, there's no right or wrong answer, but some of it's like, okay, I just need enough for them to bury me and take care of those services, and my family should be okay. I'm more of I want every piece of debt that I have to be paid off, and my mother to be able to be okay, and my family be okay for 5 years. So I think about my funeral expenses, all my debt, 5 years of income, and then that's it. Because then I feel
yeah,
like I'm putting too much money behind something that may never happen. And so then I see some people like are like, when I die, I want to leave my partner a multimillionaire. And I'm like, but you're throwing all this money when you might not even die. So I
absolutely.
think you point out those differences and like even all the scenarios because yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, but everyone's a little bit different. So one thing that, I've learned in my business, in talking with colleagues and talking with different people is, I went from, I just want to make sure things are taken care of, to I'm going to make sure my mom's taken care of no matter what, to I'm going to leave a legacy no matter what.
Mm,
And so
yeah.
my mind has definitely shifted, and my planning has definitely shifted over time. So in the beginning, it was just, hey, let's just make sure that things are taken care of, very similar to you. But
So
my mindset has changed.
if so, like, let's say I buy life insurance today and I'm single,
Hmm.
right? And so I get into this policy based on my health measures, or I don't know how you guys do your calculations, but if I buy
Absolutely.
insurance today, and then like 2 years later, I find a man, have a kid, boom, 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 I think I want a little bit more now. Do you have to get a whole nother policy and then your health and everything is reassessed again? Or do you just like add more onto the existing policy? How does that work?
So going up, is always going to be, you have to go through a brand new process. And so if I went out and bought a $50,000 policy, and then I get family, kids, etc., and then I want $1 million policy as an example, I'm going
Yeah.
to have to reapply.
Okay.
But so when I first got into the business, I got into the business at 23, single, no kids. I put $1 million on myself for like 35 bucks a month. And the reason why is I was driving home, I almost fell asleep on the road, and I just wanted to make sure that my family was taken care of, right? Now I'm in the industry, and I have a lot more now, and I'm still single, no kids, but that's because I understand what I'm doing. I know what my goals are, etc. And you can buy a certain policy today that's very inexpensive, and then grow over time depending on your budget. So when I first started, it was $35 a month or $30, something ridiculously small for the amount of insurance I got. Now
Yeah.
I'm paying a lot more, but my goals and my situation is a little bit different.
So I love what you said. So I remember I was in like a really bad car accident in 2007. My lungs
Hmm.
collapsed. I mean, it was just ugly. And I
Wow.
remember that once I was like out of the ICU, once I was recovered, that was one of the first things I did is I went and I bought a life insurance policy, which I canceled later and like, you know, ended up just going with whatever life insurance policy comes with my job. But yeah, it's like in that moment I was like, boom, I need that life insurance. And like the person is in a very vulnerable place at that point. And like right now with the crisis that's happening, I can imagine, you know, is there an increase and an influx into people wanting life insurance? Because like,
Oh,
let's be
absolutely.
honest, and when es que me vas a dejar, you know, I'm sure they're
Yep.
thinking about these things.
Yeah, I mean, right now, our company website is up 25%. There's a lot of online brokers that you can go out and kind of farm out life insurance. They're up 50% last time we checked because we have all that industry data. We're kind of the big gorilla in the industry, so we tend to get a lot of that industry data. People are thinking about it right now. I mean, stuff like this definitely does bring up that conversation about, hey, if something happens tomorrow, am I taken care of?
Yeah,
The hard part is we don't want to wait till something happens for us to start thinking about stuff like this, right?
yeah,
And that's something that's part of our role. You know, a lot of times, you know, the clients that we meet with or the people who become clients, they walk in thinking they're totally fine. But
yeah,
when you start asking questions, and keep in mind, we do this day in and day out, you know, when you start asking questions about, okay, what have you planned for this, you know, some people do walk away saying, oh man, I never thought about that. You know, I saw a comment earlier, you know, I never thought about the income replacement, right?
yeah,
And those are things that we see on a daily basis that, you know, I have these conversations with people. Like today, I had 8 meetings back to back having these types of conversations with people. And so we specialize in this and we just start asking those questions. They're all your answers though. That's the main thing. These are your numbers. The number that you decide, that's on you, right? It's based on what your current situation is, what's going on in your life. But of course, life's going to happen, right? Things are going to change. You know, I saw one of my friends on here. You know, 5 years ago, she was single, no kids. Today, she has an awesome 2-year-old running around, right? And now she's married with a house. And so things always are going to be changing. And so what we do is, you know, our clients, we meet with them at least once a year because life's going to happen. You know, things are going to change. And honestly, unless you're going through a situation where, you know, you're in a car accident or I almost fell asleep on the road, that's not the first thing that comes to mind when life happens. And
yeah.
so that's what we do is, you know, you can definitely go out and buy life insurance online. Highly recommend it. You know, any plan, whether you go through someone like us or you go online, I'm always going to say awesome. The fact that you have any plan in place is going to be a good thing. The difference between working with someone like myself and my firm compared to going online is I can
Yeah.
actually walk you through the process
Okay.
and walk you through what is a number for you. There's a lot
Yeah.
of calculators out there, but you can't ask a calculator a question.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we have some questions. If any, I know we have about 15 more minutes. So, Aurora says, question: what is a good plan of action for long-term life insurance scenario, hoping you make it to 80 to 85 years old, in your professional opinion?
Absolutely. So, you know, there's 3 different types of plans out there. And so, you know, in between that, there's hundreds of thousands in the breakdown, but there's really 3 different types of plans, and actually really two. One is term life insurance. Now, term life insurance is an awesome product. You get a lot of insurance for relatively very little amount of money. So as an example, I was able to put $1 million on myself for $30 a month, right? If something were to happen over the next 20 years, as an example, my mom would be very well taken care of. If something
Mm-hmm.
doesn't happen, I slept well at night. If you're going to compare it to real estate, it's kind of like renting a home. Something happens, you're good. Something doesn't happen, you know, you're still good, right? But when you're talking about something that you're pushing out to 80, 85, 90 years old, you're no longer talking about temporary coverage like a term plan. A term plan is not supposed to last you the rest of your life. That's not the purpose of it. It's supposed to
Okay.
be for a temporary time. So, you know, we have plans that are
Why
anywhere
would
from 10
someone do a
years.
temporary one?
A temporary one.
Yeah. What's the point of that?
So as an example, you might have a mortgage. You know, your
Mm-hmm.
mortgage is not going to be there forever, right? You might
Right.
have a 30-year note, a 15-year note. Let's have a plan in place that if something happens during the time that you're paying for that, the house gets taken care of. But
Okay.
once the house is paid off, you don't need that insurance. And
Got it.
that's the idea, is you can just get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that's
Okay.
the purpose of the term plans. The
Got it.
permanent plans is definitely if you're looking to leave a legacy, or you're, no matter if you pass away tomorrow or age 121, which is the age we currently go to today, you want something to be there for your
So
family. You want to leave
what?
121. Yeah.
Why is that?
So, that's the new, like someone born today, that's the ages that they're going to be living up to, is
Really?
121 years old. Yeah. So mortality is skyrocketing, which goes into a totally different topic, right?
Do you
But
think? Yeah, it might be veering off another topic, but
uh,
this is interesting to me because I think one of the things that I've learned is that based on your socioeconomic status, whether you're born, let's be raw, on the north side or the south side, there's a 20-year difference based
absolutely,
on what you get to experience in life, right? Access to maybe healthier food restaurants are more on the north side, better doctors maybe on the north side, versus someone who's on the south side who's maybe has a little bit tighter of a budget, who has to make more compromises for their health. So and I don't know if you can say this or not, but they certain demographics tend to be more, on one skew versus the other. When you're thinking about life insurance and they're building these algorithms to live to 125, do you think they're taking into account your ethics, your ethnic as well?
no, I think the way actuary tables work is just as an average. And so
Okay.
we might have people that live till 70, we might have people that live till 90, we might have people that live to 121. But as a
Okay.
company, we look at the average. And so we like to say, we could have a room full of people and we'll know exactly at what time to walk in and pull someone out because they passed away.
Okay.
That's how accurate it can be. We don't know who,
Yeah.
right? But scientifically, we can time it at what time we want to go in there and grab up someone.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I guess that,
so,
I guess that wouldn't be fair, right? To then start thinking, okay, Latinos are probably more exposed to diabetes, so therefore, because she's a Latina, there's a higher rate that she might not make it as. I don't know. I just that
no, I
that
mean,
comment 125 was just kind of like, wait, what? Who gets
yeah,
to get
no,
that?
well, it's really about the advancement in healthcare, the
Yeah.
advancement in health in general. I mean, we're not heavy smokers anymore. You know, a lot of people have veered away. And in fact, even though I'm from the border, my grandparents lived to their 90s. So, I'll probably live to 100, God willing, right? Maybe 121, who knows? But,
Compound that interest.
that's exactly, so I got to save for 120 now. But, going back to the conversation, there's term insurance and then there's permanent insurance. And when it comes down to permanent insurance, there's two different options. One option, as an example, let's say you wanted $100,000 to pass down to your family, no matter if you live till 100 or 120. It could be tomorrow 100,000, or when you get to 100,000. The only downside about that offer is 100,000 when you're 100 is not going to buy you what $100,000 buys you today. And so
Right.
that's always something to consider, right? And then there's another option that allows the death benefit to grow with basically inflation. So
Oh.
if you were to start with 100, by the time you're, 100 years old, it might be 300,000 or 400,000. And so that'll start, it all depends on your goals. It all depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But there's definitely different types depending on what's the goal for that insurance.
And is it all individual based? Like, me, single Latina, get married is someday. Like, is there couples life insurance or is it always
Absolutely.
just individual?
No, absolutely. So, when the day I get married and I'm planning on leaving a legacy, I'm not going to want to leave a legacy until husband and wife pass away. So there's plans out there that are even less expensive that it only kicks in until husband and wife pass away. And so
Oh,
that's
okay.
definitely a different option. But once again, there's a lot of different options out there. It's all based on your goals. What do
So
you
what
want to have happen
op-
if you weren't here tomorrow?
like
I'm
is
sorry?
there options? What are some of those creative options? Like, okay, there's an option for couples. Is there like a different option for entrepreneurs or maybe single mothers, or are there differences like that?
No, I mean, really, it's really those four different types.
Okay.
It is going to be term insurance, and then there's three different types of permanent insurance. It all kind of depends on, once again, what's the goal, and then it boils down to what's the budget.
Yeah.
Because budget is very, very important.
Yes,
The
it
way our
is.
Absolutely, right? So it depends on how much can you set aside, not going to break the bank, that you
Yeah.
can pay month in or month out or annual or whatever it might be, that you're able to take care of things moving forward.
Yeah.
Because you don't want, right now we're going through kind of a crazy situation in the country. You don't want life insurance to be the first thing you cut out, right?
Right.
You want that to be there and be in a position to be there for a long time.
Yeah. Makes sense. I think you have a question from the viewers.
Yeah, go for it.
Uh, it says, if a 30-year-old and an 80-year-old bought the same plan, would the monthly cost be the same, or is pricing based on age?
Pricing is based on age and age, health, and gender. So females are a lot cheaper than males
Really?
because
Why?
they live a lot longer than us.
Oh,
They live a lot longer than us, so statistically at least. And so females are definitely going to be cheaper. And so, that's something to consider. But it's always going to be based on age. It's always going to be based on health, and it's always going to be based on your gender.
okay. So I see another question. What are the best companies to purchase a life insurance plan from? So obviously you're representing New York Life, but if you could throw maybe two others out there that you might know of that you say would consider as reputable companies, perhaps?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of companies out there that you can buy from. But what you want to look for is who can back up their guarantee. So what a life insurance is, it's a contract that if I pass away, you're going to pay out money to my family tax-free. And
Okay.
so if you're looking at someone like myself, I'm about to turn 30 next month, you're going
That's
to
viejo.
have, I'm sorry?
That's viejo.
I know, I'm getting old. But if that's the case and I'm planning on living to 100, I want to be with a company that's going to last another 70 years. And so the main thing that you want to look out for is what is the ratings of the company. So as an example, there's two companies out there that are AAA rated, which means like any rating agency possible, we have the highest ratings out there. That would be us, of course. That's why I joined our company, and Northwestern Mutual. So those two companies are the two companies that are AAA rated. We've been around the longest, and we've been paying out death claims since 1845, before dollar bills were invented, before Texas was a state. We were doing all that kind of fun stuff. So, we as a company ourselves, we have over 27 billion in reserves. So we're not going anywhere for a while. I mean, we're planning on the next 175 years moving forward. And so when you're looking at companies, it's not always about cost. It's also about, do you believe this company is going to be around? There used to be 800 companies out there. Now we're down to about 80. So a lot of life insurance companies do go out of business. And so you might get a better deal somewhere, but are you doing it with the right company?
So, Daniel, you represent New York Life. I know someone asked what company are you with, so it's New York
Mm-hmm.
Life. How can people get a hold of you to have these conversations if they're interested in purchasing life insurance?
Yeah, so we've recently gone 100% virtual, which is pretty interesting. I've been working from home. It's definitely a different experience right now. But I believe you've tagged me.
Yes.
So just shoot me a message. We can set up a video conference call. It's a pretty cool system now where I can walk through everything no matter what part of the country I'm in. Now, I don't actually do the selling myself. So as a partner with the firm, I no longer handle clients directly, but I manage a team of advisors that I can, work through them as well to take care of anything that might be needed. And so, definitely we can, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. It doesn't cost anything to have a conversation. And the way our process works, that first meeting is just asking a bunch of questions to kind of figure out where are you at, where do you want to be, and are we in a position to help? If we are
And
great, everything from, your income, what's your mortgage, what's your retirement accounts going on, what life insurance do you currently have in place, what's your birthday, And then we start teaching you about, you know, if you're looking to save, where's the best place to put it when it comes down to taxes? If you're looking to retire or know people that you're getting ready to retire, what's the best place to do that, or what's the best way to do that? It's a really an educational process. And then if you're talking about, if you're one of your concerns is life insurance, we walk you through all the questions of, you know, what would you want to have happen if you weren't here tomorrow, which is a pretty different experience. You know, our process is more education based, more asking you questions, helping you kind of determine the answer that, you know, you want to move forward with. Once you're educated on your options, you're going to make an educated decision. And that's kind of the key thing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Well, I know we have about 3 more minutes. Is there anything else you'd like for them to know about life insurance, or just things in general, given the certain climate and some of the opportunities that you can offer through your company?
Yeah, I mean, you know, really, with our company, you know, we've been pushing a lot of digital options. Right now, our company is doing a lot of things for clients to help them in the current climate. You know, coronavirus is something that a lot of us didn't expect, but we're moving forward. We're not going to have a clause, you know, if you had coronavirus, you know, you're going to get declined, nothing like that. And we've already come out to say that. And so that's the kind of a good thing. We're a really, really strong company that's been through the Great Depression, you know, recessions, et cetera. You know, we're not looking to go anywhere. And right now, a lot of people have questions. And whether it be about life insurance, whether it be about investments, you know, if you're watching your 401k, you know, just look away a little bit, right? But a lot of people have questions, and that's what we're here for. We're here to be that resource for people, that if you have questions, reach out to us. You know, we would love to help out, and see if we're in a position to help you out or guide you through any decisions that you're looking to make, you know, during this certain uncertain climate or in the future. You know, we statistically say that every 7 years, there's a 93% chance you'll need something that we provide. And so when that day does come, you know, we hope that you turn to us, and have conversations with us, you know, and that's kind of what our goal is we're a relationship-based business. We really want to sit down with people and grow with you, because life will happen, and we just want to be there for all the changes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was definitely super informative. You shared a lot with me that I wasn't aware of, and I hope that anybody watching now live or on the 24-hour replay, I'll let it live on my Instagram for 24 hours. Hopefully you have something you can take away. You know how to reach him. He is tagged on the post that I put on my page. And if there's anyone out there that you really want me to do another live chat with that you think would benefit you for your financial reasons, your budget, your time management, any of the things that I always talk about, please let me know, tag them, relate me to them, somehow connect me to them, and I'll reach out so that we can do one of these lives together. But thanks, everyone. Thanks again, Daniel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. You were great.
Alrighty. Yeah. Yeah, have
Bye,
a good one.
everyone.